Hello everyone and welcome to Composition 1 with Review. My name is Erin O'Keefe. I'll be your instructor this semester. Every week I try to create a video for you, just kind of going over the module for that week. A lot of times I end up answering questions students have as they go through the assignments. So these videos are pretty important. I also can give you some tips on doing the assignments, some of the things that I look for when I grade the assignments. So it takes the place of what we might discuss in like a physical classroom. So these videos are pretty important. I do appreciate it when students actually watch them every week. And sometimes I offer extra credit for doing it. So you may want to take a look at these, look out for them. As I post them in the announcements, I also post them in the modules, so you can kind of take a look at those as we go through the semester. So as you get into the class, obviously announcements are right here. I post more than one announcement per week, typically kind of an introduction to the module announcement, and then a due date reminder. I try to do that every week. And then over here on the side, you'll see other things that you want to be aware of. If you have not clicked on the syllabus yet, you want to make sure that you do that. So when you open up the simple syllabus tab, it will give you the syllabus and you want to scroll through it. I can see who has seen the syllabus and who has looked at it all the way through. So as you go through the syllabus and read all of the policies, you'll see down at the bottom, when you get to the bottom, I have read the syllabus. You can acknowledge that you have read it, and it will also tell me how fast you went through it. So make sure that you are aware of that. And late work policy is probably going to be the one that will most affect you. So you want to be aware of, every class is a little bit different. You want to be aware of this class. I try to remind students as modules come due, but just kind of keep in mind that this late policy will probably be different from your other classes that you're taking. So then most of the time where you're going to go immediately is to the modules tab. You can see that we've got a couple of different modules that are open, and then we have the first module, which is locked. The first thing that you need to do is complete the academic honesty module so that you can actually unlock these other modules. You want to make sure that you are looking at this getting started page, because that does give you information if you are new to Allen, how to access your student email. Make sure that you check that, and then all of these other resources for you. And then you need to get into the academic honesty module. If you don't complete this module, then your class will not unlock. So the main thing to remember is that you have to click on each page. You want to read through each page. Some of this should be review from other classes you've taken, and some of it is specific to Allen, so you want to make sure that you're going through that. It does describe what cheating is. It does kind of explain how to avoid academic dishonesty in general, some resources for you as well. And then I've got some scenarios in here of different instances that are common students might have encountered before, and so that might help you to kind of put in your mind exactly what academic dishonesty is considered. And then I do have a page here just explaining the Turnitin plagiarism report, because as soon as you start turning in essays for the class, you'll start to see flags. Any assignment that has a little flag next to it in the grade book has been sent through Turnitin. And so that's what these colors mean for the flags. And if you have questions about that, you can let me know. I also have a page of just resources and information about AI. I have had, obviously AI is advancing at an astronomical rate, and I have had a lot of students concerned about it. I've also had students who have papers that come back flagged as AI. You cannot see the AI report that Turnitin creates, and so that's part of the issue, is students don't see that until I see it, and if it comes back flagged as 100% AI, that's obviously an issue. So I encourage students to take their own writing and run it through one of these AI detectors just to see what it looks like. particularly for students who use an external resource like Grammarly to help with suggestions and revisions, because Grammarly is also an AI program. So you want to make sure, or if you're using some kind of translator program because English is not your first language, you want to make sure that you're just double checking. You can run your paper through that, or run all of your work through one of these, and then make corrections and just kind of change it so that it sounds more like you're writing, and that should help you out. I also have some just in general resources for students you can look at. At the very end of this module is a confirmation of understanding. You have to mark it as done, otherwise the first module will not open up. So make sure that you're doing that. The next section is on textbooks, and so this is opening up this is a link. We have 3 textbooks for the class, 2 through Vital Source, which is at a link over here on the side. And so you want to make sure one of the first things that you do is access Vital Source and make sure you can access these textbooks and that there aren't any issues. You may have to create an account when you go in if you've not used Vital Source through Canvas through Allen before. But we've got these 2 books. These are the Comp 1 books, Patterns for College Writing and Rules for Writers. You'll have readings out of both of those. You will need to be able to access them this semester. The other is a ebook that is just a free open resource, and it's called a Writer's Guide to Mindful Reading, and you will be using this one as well. So make sure that you can access all of your textbooks before the semester starts, otherwise you'll get in trouble as you go forward. You've got 4 assignments to do as the introduction to the class. Each module will have an overview and a to-do list to help you just keep track of what you're doing. And then the first 2 assignments are introductory, so you're going to, this should not take very long. You're going to send me an email just giving me some things to think about for the class. So this would be like your major areas. So you're introducing yourself to me, a couple of aspects that you feel are your strengths and weaknesses as a writer, and set a goal for this semester. This goal will be important because we're actually going to take a look at it at the midpoint and at the end of the semester to make sure that you're following your goals and you know, just keeping up with yourself in the class, and that you will end up with what you want in the class at the end. So do that. And then the introduction discussion board is just a standard, you know, introduce yourself to the class. I encourage students to post pictures. If you don't want to put a picture of yourself on there, that's fine. But you can post links to videos. You can post a picture of your pet, all of those things. So if you've never done a discussion board post, when you hit reply, you do have this option up here to insert a file and upload documents, and then also images. And so this image is a really useful way because then it'll just put it in Canvas so everybody can see it. And then you can also put links in there if you want to link something. So that's a good way to do your introduction post. And then you want to respond to a couple of students as well. So go back and look and see what other people are writing. You do have an academic honesty quiz, so along with going through the whole module, you can see that academic honesty is really heavily emphasized in this class. We want to make sure that students do understand what plagiarism is, what academic dishonesty is, and the consequences for it. So make sure that you take that quiz. And then all of the quizzes in this class are ones that you can take multiple times. And so you can just keep taking it until you get the grade that you want. Also keep in mind that the more you take them, the better off you'll be in the long run, because most of the quizzes will also be on the final. And so you can, you take it more than once, you can see more than one set of questions they pull from a pool. And so that's pretty helpful for students. The last thing that you're going to do is this mindful reading exercise. So in mindful reading, we take a look at our other textbook for the class. This is just for the Comp 1 with Review class. And this class, by the way, because it's a Comp 1 with Review, it's considered developmental, the review part's the developmental level. And so you probably tested into this class. It's really important to keep in mind that this is a 5 credit hour class, which means that we're going to have a lot more assignments in this class than you would in the regular Comp 1 class. And it's designed to really lead you step by step, every step of the process in order to create these essays. So you will see more things in here than the regular Comp 1 class, but it should hopefully be broken down for you in a way that is a little bit easier to get through. So this mindful reading exercise, where this reading portion is really part of what's added to our review class. And so you're going to go through this, a couple of chapters out of the mindful reading textbook you'll be reading, and you'll also be responding to. So this is, you'll read through the introduction chapter, and then this is one of the prompts in there in that introduction chapter, and you're going to just type out a response to the prompt and then upload it. So fairly simple. Most of these are they shouldn't take you too long, but they are intended to really help you get into the material for the class. The last thing that you'll see are 3 grammar modules. They're all 0.5 modules because they fit in between modules as you go forward. They may move down the list or be sandwiched between modules as we go forward. So you want to kind of keep track of whether or not you did them. They are open all semester. So you can see they're not due till December 10th, which is the last day of class. I encourage you to just do them now. Because these are skills that you're going to be expected to start showing in your essays as we go forward. And so instead of having like one kind of lumped grammar section, this is spread out for you, and you can do it. You can take these quizzes as many times as you want to. You have the entire semester to do them. If you just feel like going back in and testing yourself, you're more than welcome to do that. And then just the highest grade, whatever is the highest grade that you've gotten, will be the one in the grade book. So even if you get fewer points a second time, it's not a big deal. But if you have questions about any of these as we go through, feel free to send me an email. Sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating, especially punctuation. I think students kind of get hung up on the rules for that. And so this is just a quick way to test yourself to see, are you starting to understand some of the major aspects of good writing that we're trying to push in this class. So that's kind of the beginning. The introduction module is not terribly difficult, should not take you very long to complete, but then you have these already open. You can start working on them if you have extra time this week. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. Otherwise, I hope you have a great week.